Please excuse the background noise. It's a noisy neighborhood this morning, but we'll proceed anyways. Pareidolia. It's an amazing thing, and it helps make life that much more interesting. It is when you look up in a clouded sky and you see some cloud that looks like a familiar form. It's when you look into the trees in the woods and you see eyes staring back at you that is a play of light and shadow that you might think is Sasquatch. It's all these things and more. So what I want to do today is I want to show you some stones that I believe are what are called, best be called geofacts. They're not actually artifacts, but there are people, and I know one, who believes anything that you look at that has some kind of defining shape was carved by ancient people, probably maybe even predating the American Indian. Understand, I don't agree with that, but I want to show you some interesting pieces today and tell you what these have been interpreted as for me. And some of them do look like they are actually artifacts, but always look for the wear patterns and the usage patterns. If it's an effigy or something, you look for wear patterns of how it was created. First, let's look at this one. Now this, until you really look at it, looks like just a regular flat stone, yes? But if you look around here and down here, you'll see what looks like a bear's head here, okay? And that's, it's an interesting configuration that happens a lot. You find what looks like bear's head or whole bear's bodies on these stones, but it's not an artifact. It is just the patterns that you're seeing and how our minds perceive them. This particular one is pretty cool. It looks like a bear's head. It even has a little, I don't know if you can see that on there, but it has a spot for the eye. So it's a pretty cool piece. I have a collection of these because they are fascinating. How about a big quacker? A big duck head? Or maybe a turkey with the wattle, under their neck. But it's definitely got the beak, the head, and it looks more to me like a duck than a turkey. And a friend of mine looked at this and he is convinced that this is actually an effigy made by the Indians. It's got a place here that he says can be used to scrape, what do you call it? When you're making arrow shafts or whatever. And there's other places on it that could be used as a tool, but this is not a tool. It's not been used, has no wear marks on it for its creation. It is a piece of limestone that fractured into the shape of a bird's head. All right, I mentioned Bigfoot before. Let's look at Bigfoot in stone. This looks to me like a Bigfoot's face in stone. And here is the snout, the broad forehead coming up to almost like a tip, and then the chin, even the mouth here. And again, as was pointed out to me, here's a space that's on all of these that's for smoothing shafts and what have you. And also, yeah, it's a cool stone, and it's one that I'm glad I found, and I'm glad to have in my collection of these kind of artifacts. But it is not artifact, geofact. These kind of stones. They're awesome specimens. How about something from outer space? A UFO stone. I have a few of these. This is actually a concretion in limestone. The ball concretion, if you turn it around, you can see the dark gray inside. But this is something that the Native Americans in this area and around the world would have, around the United States anyways, would have sought out, and probably better quality than this, but they would have broken off pieces to form into arrowheads and what have you. This is definitely a natural shape. It is a natural shape that looks like a flying saucer. All right, let's look at this one here. To me, looks like Jimmy Durante. How many of you out there know who Jimmy Durante is? He was a comedian, actor in movies and such back in the day, 50s or so. And he had a big schnozzle, a big nose. And you see the big nose there, and you can see the forehead, and Here's that place again for stripping shafts for arrows. It's not. It's natural. This again is this is limestone. This is how it fractured. It fractures into some fascinating shapes that you can make into whatever you want them to be. You need a foot up in the world? How about this one? Whoa, sorry about that. This wedge stone is a natural formation too, 100% natural. There are no patterns on it that show that it was arc-pecked or anything into this shape, although there are those who will relentlessly say that this is a foot that, for some reason, the Native Americans in this area produced. I don't think they had foot fetishes, but who knows. So anyways, it's an interesting piece. Look at a couple more here. Let's check this one out. This is some kind of an animal. It looks like a. You see the head, the neck, the body. It's laying down. It has a basic animal form. Again, it has that place to sharpen shafts. They all seem to have that, of the stones that I've found. What kind of an animal? I'm not sure what this one would look like to me, but it does have the definite form of a mammalian, whatever. And then this last one is a little more cubic, because it just, it has a basic outline form of an animal sitting down. It's not, and it could be interpreted as the berry in here. It doesn't, but again, it's a piece of fractured limestone that fractures naturally. And actually, the limestone where these were found, that a friend of mine is assuming these are all artifacts, is I found a huge pile of limestone in the tree line by the river where these were found, and inside that tree line is a huge pile of big chunks of limestone, not that were brought in by Native Americans, but that was brought in historic period times, probably to shore up the bank there of the river, and it's fallen into the river, and it's cracked, and it's all over the place. There are actual artifacts there, some very nice ones, but these are not artifacts. These are produced by Pareidolia in our minds, and I will go with calling them geofacts. All right, glad you could all be here with me this morning. Love you all very much on the other side of that screen, and I hope you have an awesome and wonderful Saturday. God bless all of you, my friends. See you again real soon.